Yo my people, it's your boy King Apex back with another video. We got a tactics video for you we go unbeaten, we win the league and the Champions League. This might be one of the greatest tactics I've actually used in FM24. So let's get straight into it and let's see how it goes. So guys, yes, I did use Liverpool for this tactic. Now, people are going to say, well, you use Liverpool, so of course you're going to have the results you did. Listen, the stats don't lie. Like, you can say the players, but the stats don't lie. And I'll show you the stats in the game, but just to show you off what we did with this tactic before I get straight into the tactic. Obviously, in the Premier League, we won the Premier League. We went completely unbeaten in the league. 34 wins, 4 draws, 106 points. That's crazy. Like, you can't even, like, you know what I mean? If I was to look into, obviously, most scored, obviously, us scored 141 goals, guys. This tactic is crazy. Against, we actually were joint with Man City in terms of goals conceded. So, really and truly, this is probably one of the best tactics I've actually ever used in terms of for goal scoring. Champions League, we did win the Champions League as well. We beat PSG 4-1 in the final. And then, surprisingly, we actually got knocked out in both Emirates FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. Show you some results, some big results. You would have saw some highlights I just showed you. But in terms of some results that you will see, beat Newcastle at home 9-0. I mean, yeah, there's some big victories like that. We won 7-0 against Fulham away from home. I remember we beat another team by 9. I can't remember who it was. Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, fair enough. This team in the Champions League, we beat them 9-1. Beat both Arsenal and Man United 5-0. Beat Crystal Palace 4-0. And there was another big result here. Nottingham Forest beat them 6-0 at home. Beat Chelsea 6-2 at home. Brentford got smashed 5-1 on open day of the season. I mean, some great results. Listen, great results. As you can see, we didn't concede many. As you can see, just from the result, we didn't concede many. Even in the Champions League, we didn't concede that many. But beat Real Madrid comfortably 5-3 and then 2-0. And obviously beat PSG 4-1. So overall, it's a goal-scoring tactic. Goal-scoring tactic. But to get straight into it in terms of tactics. So this is the tactic. It's not my tactic. It's a tactic I was trying out to show you guys. You might have seen some other people on YouTube show it or demonstrate it. Or I thought I'll also do the same. Just to see if it's actually as good as it is, and it really, really is. But in short, these are the main players that I played, so I just thought I'd keep them here. I want to point this out. By the way, Mo Salah, he's got 24 goals in 26 games. He got injured for the first 9 games of the season, something like that. So the fact that he still bagged 24 goals in 26 games is crazy. Anyway, so the tactic is very, very simple. In goal, we had Addison, but you're going to have a sweeper keeper defend. Of course, they got to tackle harder. Okay. Doing what normal sweeper keepers do, doesn't allow that ball to come in, especially if the defense plays high, doesn't allow the ball to kind of come here, they come out their box, etc. We kind of all know that. Now the fullbacks, both are fullback attack. Really, really good is that, of course, they cross from the byline. It means you will see them run up and down here, as it has crossed more often and get further forward. So you're always going to see them like in this pocket here, especially with Robertson and Trent. You're going to see them here. They cross the ball a lot, and that is evident with Trent getting 29 assists and Robertson getting 20 assists. When your fullbacks are getting almost 40 to 50 assists in one season, really and truly, the tactic speaks for itself. And bear in mind, Trent scored 11 goals as well from right back. So it's a very, very good, or instructions for them in particular. In centre back, we have two ball playing defenders. Of course, I want them to in this for this tactic. Of course, they dribble more. It says they tackle harder, but what you actually see is they play a lot of those key passes. To these two, especially McAllister and Gravenberch, and they allow them to kind of start the attack. So you will see that a lot if you do use this tactic. As you can see, Konate actually got 13 goals and Van Dijk actually got 11. I don't actually know how. I think majority of them were from corners, I believe, but there was a few from open play. Who's he winning by? Oh, okay. Sorry. Anyway, in the midfield, now I've never seen a tactic like this where you basically have three defensive midfielders, basically, because they're all in that DM role. I've never seen that before. This is not something I would personally do, but evidently it works. All three have 10 assists each, which is really, really good. We've got Gravenberch got 13 goals. He's in this Secundo Volante tactics or instruction style. And in short, as it says here, it's a bit like a deep line playmaker, but they're a bit more defensive. They kind of stay in that role a bit more. Their role is to almost kind of be a deep line playmaker / that box to box kind of role. And obviously, as it says here, the instructions this person's put is to take more risk, one, to dribble more, so that you want them on the ball a lot. So really, you want someone in that position that has good dribbling and good passing stats and good vision and mentality. And then, of course, tackle harder. I think he got quite a few yellow cards. So he got 10 yellow cards this season. No red cards, though. So it is quite an aggressive tactic. And I think for McAllister, he got 10 yellow cards as well. So there you go, really. But he also, in the same exact role, both doing the same thing. Get the ball, they dribble it out. They beat the press. And then, pass it off to these three. Now, someone who I'd say is probably the most key person in this whole tactic, I would say, based on using this tactic, is the person in this DM role, in this case, Endo. Now, as you can see, you got 14 yellow cards because it is a very, 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 very tackling centric, his role, because he is the anchor. He doesn't move from this spot practically, because we have no wingers in this case. So when it comes to defending, these guys might go out to tackle, their wingers here, and he's alone in the midfield. So he will do quite a lot of work. In terms of his instructions, as it says, take more risk, tackle harder. Because of that tackle harder, he has all those other cards. But when you're on the ball, because majority of the time with this tactic, you have the ball, you'll see that he gets those 10 assists, really, really starts making those key passes. You can see pass percentage was quite high. No, really, really works really well, this tactic. But the key position in this whole tactic. Then we go to the main three. So if you've never seen a 3-striker tactic, this is exactly how that looks like. So 3 strikers, 2 of them on that pressing forward role, and then we have 1 in the advanced forward. Both pressing forwards have, of course, moving the channels. They actually have mark specific position. In this case, does it say? So both of them will have mark in the central defender. So the reason why this is really, really key is because they're pressing, they will go to both centre backs. Most teams play 2 centre backs. So both those 2 centre backs will press constantly. So as soon as they're on the ball, they press. And a lot of our goals came from Mo Salah or Nunes pressing high, making a tackle, and then, passing or shooting and scoring. So it really, really works really well. I've never seen this before. I didn't even know you could even do this. I can't even lie, because I never really looked to this side of the tactic, to be honest. But the fact that, and this is really giving me a learning curve. But yeah, moving the channels, mark specific position. Of course, they hold up the ball to allow, potentially other players, the other 2 to get involved. And then the close down more works well with the marking that's a certain player, and of course the pressing side, and then of course tackle harder. I think Mo Salah got quite a few. Oh no, he didn't. was it you that got yellow cards? Yeah, he got 6 yellow cards. So you do get few people here and there. There was Luis Diaz. He didn't really start this season. Is there someone else that I played in this role? Cody Gakpo. Oh, he didn't get any yellow cards. Okay. Well, maybe I'm bugging. Is it Chiesa? Oh yeah, Chiesa. Yeah. So he also got 4 yellow cards. So you can see you are going to get yellow cards with this tactic. Also, I just want to point out, by the way, when doing this, he got injured in training and was just injured all season, and then he just happened to not be injured now. Anyways, but going back to the stats, so you got Mo Salah, 26 games, 24 goals, 8 assists, and those were his instructions. And then you have Diogo Jota in his advanced forward role. I mean, that kind of speaks for itself. There's no real instructions. They just score goals, in short. And he got, in 35 games starting, 15 off the bench, bagged 29 goals. And then Darwin Núñez played 53 games, bagged 32 and 12 assists. And he has the exact same instructions as Mo Salah. So in terms of all the players, those are the instructions and the tactics. And in terms of the team, of course, we're playing that attacking. So in short, you want to be dominating possession. So I think only use this tactic if you think you have the players that can actually dominate game to game. Not if you have the worst squad in the league. I don't know if it really well. I don't know. Try it out and let me know. So comment down below and let me know how it goes. But in possession, of course, you can play very narrow because we don't have any wingers, so we don't need to play wide. These two are going to be overlapping based on their instructions. Passing into space, we're going to play quite short. Again, because we're narrow, it helps to play short. Higher tempo, we want them to run at the defence, especially when you have 3 attackers, 2 that are going to be pressing the centre-backs. It's good to have them run at defence when you have the ball, and we play low crosses when these two do get the ball and cross the ball in. In transition, as I always have, but this person had it who created this tactic, of course, counter press and counter when possession's been lost, when possession has just been won. And then we want the goalkeeper to distribute that ball as quick as possible, and he's going to roll that ball out. And then lastly, in terms of out of possession, of course, you have 2 pressing forwards, so you have to have that high press. And then again, you're going to have your centre backs and defend and CDM, basically all here on this halfway line. And because your keeper's not a super keeper, anything that goes beyond them, that's his ball, in short. Of course, like I said, we're going to prevent their goalkeeper from giving the ball out short and quickly, hence the 2 pressing forwards. Of course, we're going to have to get stuck in, hence why you have so many yellow cards across the team. And the defence is now going to step up more, hence why it's really, really key to have a keeper that can actually play this super keeper role. And then lastly, we're actually going to invite crosses. I'm not sure why I actually wouldn't have this personally, but obviously it's worked out well. So yeah, so that is technically the end of the tactics. I'm going to show the stats now, but if you don't want to watch that bit, feel free to leave the video now. But please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed. It does help out. But let's get into the stats. So to show you some kind of overview stats, of course, most goals, as I said. Fewer shots against, we sit 3rd. We obviously had the most shots. We had 855 compared to Aston Villa, who's 2nd. 300 goal different. That's crazy. 300 shot difference, sorry. Pass completion. Oh, actually, surprisingly, we're not sitting here. Surprising. Most possession, we sit 5th. Tackles 1. Surprisingly, we're not in the top 8. Most dribbles were top 5. Fewest conceded, of course, were number 1. And then clean sheets, of course, were number 1. Going into some details, possession, I think we already showed this, but we sit 5th. Other stats that could be quite good to look at. XG, of course, were number 1, you could tell. 3rd in crosses completed, and percentage-wise, and then obviously 1st in actual crosses completed. We actually scored the most goals, but I don't know if that's something to do with tactic or just in general, but we scored the most goals from corners, which is really, really good. We scored the most goals from indirect free kicks. I mean, chances created, of course, had the most shots, as I said already, most shots on target. 3rd on the ratio of that. Best conversion rates. Where is my high intensity? Of course, we're number 1 in high intensity. If you guys watch my tactic videos, you know I always say I love to have the high intensity sprints and let my team be number 1, as you guys know. So glad that we have that. In terms of defensive stuff, we were 2nd in fouls made, so it's a very aggressive tactic. We were 6th in tackles 1. We won possession most. Interceptions, we are 2nd last, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. 2nd in conceded penalties, only conceded 1 penalty all season. Best in passes attempted against. And then in terms of final 3rd passes against, we sit 2nd. So those are the stats I think it's a very, very good to show you in terms of my team. You can see, look, Jota number 1 in goals, Darwin number 3rd, Salah 5th, Chiesa 8th. I mean, there's not really much. Trent is 1st, Robertson 3rd, Joe Gomez of all people is joint 4th. Did he even play that much? Apparently he did play 43 games. Okay, well, any other key stats? Key passes, Trent, most dribbles, we're not there, tackles, no. Incheatson, obviously, Addison, obviously. So those are the stats, guys. If you are going to try it out, let me know down below. Message me on either Twitter or Threads or anything, and let me know how this tactic is going for you. Send me your screenshots of your results. If there's any tactics you want me to try out or a tactic that you've made, send it over. I'm happy to try it out. If you have any saves that you want me to potentially save, or you that are maybe going bad or going downhill, I'm happy to take a challenge and I'll do a video. I'm happy to show that. But I've been King Apex. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you haven't liked it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Make sure you hit the notification bell to find out when I next upload. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. See you later.